What's up, YouTube? This is Cellarmaker and Alvarado Street Brewing's When Doves Cryo. This is their West Coast India Pale Ale, and it's brewed with cryogenic lupulin hop powder. Very interesting. I've had lupulin powder, but I don't think I've had cryogenic lupulin powder. So I'm assuming it's frozen. And it comes in at 7% alcohol by volume. This was packaged at the Alvarado Street Brewery in Salinas, California. And this was actually canned on February 8th. So it's pretty fresh, 12 days out. It's pretty awesome. This is courtesy of Andre ZM, Locals Group for Beer Advocates. So thank you very much, sir. And yeah, so I mean, I've had, I want to say I've had something from Cellarmaker, but it's been a while if I have it. If I have, it hasn't been much. So, but of course, heard great things about them. Don't really know about Alvarado. So, all right. Ooh, looks really nice and bright. You know, West Coast styles. I'm kind of used to something a little bit more maltier looking, but or darker malt rather. Nice foamy white head. This light yellow gold pale hue to it. It's pretty decently hazy. It's not like New England style type hazy, but pretty, pretty cloudy. So let's check out the aroma. This smells pretty nice. So it's got that West Coast kick, that big pine kind of resin citrus note. However, it's pretty tropical and fruity as well. You know, getting a bit of mango, but really big citrus. But it smells very light and bright. Yeah, it smells great. Pine, lots of nice bright pine, very grassy. So check it out. Cheers. Oh wow, that's really good. Oh, that's awesome, man. I've been really impressed with the the lupulin powder beers that I've had. That mango and tropical fruit comes out a bit more on the taste. Quite a bit more actually. Big kick of citrus, bright citrus. I think that nice grassy note. The tropical fruit's very interesting on it too. I mean, I'm getting kind of notes of like there's some guava in there, but I almost want to say like kiwi as well. Just a hint. And then that big citrus kicks in, some resin, some pine, but the resin's not like a dark, earthy resin. It's just more of this like really fresh, grassy quality to it. There is some, definitely, it's not, the bitterness isn't assertive. It balances out the sweetness of the beer, keeps it feeling a bit drier. It's solid, but it's not super intense. It's pretty nice. Maybe just a little bit higher for my personal preference as far as how much bitterness I like. Enough to really balance it out, but not too much. It lingers on quite a bit. Still fantastic though, where it's not overly bitter. Carbonation on it is feels more like a West Coast style. It doesn't have really like the big full body with the soft, fluffy kind of mouthfeel to it. I mean, there is kind of a light medium fullness to it, and a bit of prickly carb, but still pretty spot on. Reminds me a little bit of the like the Parish beers. But it's close. Yeah, it's really tasty. I mean, I wasn't familiar with it. Heard good things about Cellarmaker. I think I looked it up on Untapped, and I think overall average was like a 3.97. So actually didn't expect it to be, I mean, I don't always go by ratings and stuff, but it's definitely better to me than I think the rating suggests. Personal preference is an easy 4.25 out of 5 for me. Probably a little bit higher than that. I like how bright the citrus and that just a bit of that tropical fruit character is. Like the bitterness isn't too assertive. Like the grassy quality of it, that kind of grassier resin note as opposed to like the earthy resinous quality. But this is pretty tasty beer. I would definitely. I mean, I don't know how distributed this was. Assuming this was probably local only to California, that area. Excuse me. Check it out though if you're in that. I think it's a fantastic. Definitely one of the best West Coast IPAs I've had in quite some time, if not ever. This is verging towards a 4.5. I'd probably give it like a 4.35 to 4.4 overall, from my personal opinion. But anyway, awesome stuff. When Dove's Cryo. Haven't been disappointed by anything with lupulin powder yet. So, but anyway, thanks again, Andre, and that's pretty much it for this episode. So yeah. Keep on watching. Got some more fun stuff coming up. So, as always, cheers.